In this video, I'm going to discuss with you the 16th question of database management system and its answer. This is the question number 16. The mark of the term examinations of the Kaluvila Junior College are still recorded in books. Because of this, the principal has to spend a lot of time when he needs to check the mark of the students. Therefore, the principal has decided to include the term marks of all the students studying in his school in a computer system. The software was developed by a software development company called AI Soft. The software should be able to store all the student term scores and student assessment scores. The principal has decided to develop the software to include the mark of students in grade 11 as the first stage of this software. You work as a senior software engineer at this company. You and your team are tasked to creating the website here and the SQL query used to provide the following requirements. Create a database called exammarksdb to store the student data. To create this database, I used MySQL Workbench software and go to the file numeral and double click here and type the database name. I type here exam marks db as the question. Here you can see database has been created, and next I double click this add diagram. Create a table named student to store student data. Create the table according to the instructions below. To create this student table, I click the table, double click on the table icon and type the table name as student in here and add columns to the student table in this way. Student table columns are index number and its primary key and first name, last name, gender and contact number. In this way I create the student table. Next question is, the school has two grade 11 classes. Create table called class to store the details of those classes. To create this class table, I again click on the table icon and add here the table name as class, and the class table columns are class ID and class name. Class ID is the auto increment primary key in this table. In this way I create the class table. And the next question is, create a table called subject to store the subjects taught in the school. Create a table according to the instructions below. To create this subject table, I again click on the table icon and type the table name as subject and add columns to the subject table. Subject table columns are subject ID and subject name. Subject ID column is the auto increment and primary key on this table. In this way I create the subject table also. The next question is, create a table with the term exam term. To store the term test in the school, create the table according to the instructions below. To create this exam term table, I again click on the table icon and type the table name as exam term, and term columns are term ID, term name and exam date. In this way I add the columns to the database table. Term ID is the auto increment and primary key on this table. In this way I add the data type to the columns. In this way I also create the exam term table. And this is the answer of question number 16.